This here is probably the most important place in our house. Coffee corner. Fresh lemon balm. Makes a lovely tea. Loads of coffees and teas, and yeah, I'm definitely a coffee addict. I've drunk my coffee. Let's go and do a tour of that place. Hi guys, welcome to my teeny tiny hobbit style art studio. I'm going to give you a tour. It's not going to take very long, but it will show you what you can achieve with a small space. If you haven't got any space for an art studio in your home, I think I've packed quite a lot in. I'm going to show you, and I'm filming on my phone, so I'm going to take the phone off the arm now. I will show you that as well. Right guys, so this studio is 8 by 7 and really is tiny, but it's amazing what you can do with small spaces. That's my kitchen that you can see down there, and I'm just going to do you a little turn. That is one of the units that I purchased really cheap. I'll take you through what I've got where, and if I move over this side towards the window, see my leopard picture there, and up there's a ring light, and I've got my camera arm attached to the wall there, and my headphones are there, and I've got a softbox light there for when I'm filming. And over this side is my main drawing desk and where I do all the filming from. I've got some more drawers at the side of the desk there, and on this side we have a unit, and again I'll take you through all that in a minute, what's in there. I've got some of my pictures, fairy lights of course. I don't know why they're looking like they're flickering on the screen, but they're actually not. So yeah, that is it. That is the size of my studio. Can I zoom out? Let me see if I can zoom out. No, it won't let me zoom out. Okay, so if I try and get up high, that is it. Now, let me show you what I've managed to pack into my little hobbit hole. I think you'd be quite surprised. Right, so I'll take you through bit by bit and show you what I've managed to squish into this little space. We've got a stall here in case anyone comes to visit me in my hobbit hole. There's a little tiny heater for when it gets cold. Really don't need that, it's really quite warm today. My plant baby is there. Some little funky men, you know, arty-farty men. Down in my unit, I've got a thank you card and some little tiny pegs there. In this first hole, we have, this is my light box, which I sometimes use, not very much these days. I have some palettes that live in there, and I also have some palette paper that lives in that one too. So that's the first little cubby hole. Coming up to my next cubby holes, in this one we've got some prints of pictures that we've done. Show you that. Oh, that's some cards of the little pastel hair that I did. And here we've got some, oh, I think these ones are, let's have a look. Oh yes, that's my partner's painting of the magnificent elephant. He's amazing. So they live in this this little hole here with some, I for bits and pieces. I didn't realise how awkward this was going to be on my phone. Okay, here I've got some wooden panels that I have gessoed. These are great to paint on, so I've got some of those in there. I think actually I've got one. Oops. I think actually I've got one. Yeah, some lovely flower on waiting for me to paint. I do start things and then think, oh, I'll do something else. But it's there, ready and waiting for when I'm ready to go. So, yeah, that's what we've got in that cubby hole. In this one, I've got my mediums. This is oil paint medium. These are all just kept in the basket. This is some pastel fixative in there. So they're all just kept nicely there. There's an artist sponge there. This is some Winsor & Newton ink that I've got. So that just lives in there. Above that, we've got my pan pastels, which I love. Here are my pastel pencils, which I also love. Really, really inexpensive. That one's around the wrong way. Really, really inexpensive, those, and my absolute favourite. Now, in this case here, which I got on, I believe it was Amazon, are all my coloured pencils. It's a brilliant case. So I've got all my polychromos in there, and my luminants are in there as well. Caran d'Ache are in there as well. I'll show you that now. So here is the case. I really hope this microphone's not making too much noise, so I've got it clipped on my clothes. Let me move it for a second, hang on. That might be a bit better. Sorry if that's been making loads of noise, guys. Right, okay, this is my case that I got on Amazon, and I had so many pencils, I was tearing my hair out, didn't know what to do with them all. So I got this case, I found this case, should I say, on Amazon, and it's got all of my pencils in, mainly polychromos, and I've got some white gel pens in there as well. But look, it just goes on and on, and I've got some empty ones there, but it just goes on. There's all my greens, my blues, all my yellows and reds, and it's great because it unzips both sides. You can actually pull these sections out as well. They're on like a Velcro, and you can just pull them out. So if you need, you know, a particular set of pencils, you can just pull them out. It's fab. Oh, there's really, really pleased with that when I got that. Again, that wasn't a lot of money. I try not to spend too much money on things like that because I like to buy things like polychromos. And we won't talk about the Caran d'Ache. But yeah, that's my little case. It's great. It's got a little zip and a little pocket on the outside, but that just lives on that little cubby hole there. And up to the third one, I've got all my brushes up here. This is a brush roll I haven't used, but should I go out and do some painting outside, I would take that with me. These are my water jars. Pick those up really cheap in the range, love those. And I've got my my oil brushes, my watercolour brushes, my acrylic brushes are all up there safely. Hello. And into this hole down here, this is a very important one. This is where I keep all my pastel pads and pastel papers. So I've got pastel mat in there and some Strathmore pastel pads in there. So that's where they live. And this next one is all my watercolour bits and pieces. I've got my watercolour palette and my watercolour papers, some Fabriano and some Canson. And yeah, they all live there. This is a big tin of watercolour pencils that I got. I'll show you those. Get them open. Those are beautiful as well. There, look at those colours. Amazing. So yeah, they're I think are they Castle Arts? I think they might be Castle Arts. I don't use watercolour pencils that much, to be honest, but they're nice. They are nice to have, and again, not, you know, didn't cost a lot of money, so they sort of live there. Down here is just some sort of sketchbooks and sketch pads and things like that. They just kind of live there. I've got another little unit there, but in between we've got these polystyrene sheets that come out of packaging. Now these are really good for packaging up pictures, especially if you've got glass and things like that. So we keep those. They come in handy. Why are you going to throw them away if you can reuse them? Save the planet and all that. Over here, I've got this little unit. Now, this was actually out of my daughter's room. It was a little bedside unit. I thought, oh, I can use that. Little fairies in watercolour book we've got there. Down here, I've just literally got, that's my camera lens cover for my main camera. I've got some bulbs for my softbox light. Some wireless microphones, which would be better than this one I've got on. I just haven't charged them up yet. And down there, there's just some bits and bobs. That is a lovely little wax seal set that I bought, which is sometimes nice to use. It's got some paper clips and things like that. This here is soap that I made. Really good for washing your brushes. So we keep a bar by the sink, and when I'm washing the brushes out, we use that. Little easel is there. My large easel is still in the house. There is my pastel leopard. Got a bit of glare coming off of that, so it's quite difficult to see, but there he is. Okay, so that's all, everything I've got in that side. And over this side, next to my drawing desk, we've got the little plastic unit. And in here, I've got tapes and packaging supplies. Again, bits and pieces that we keep out of packaging, and fragile tape and bits and bobs in there. So that's all in there. Bubble wrap as well, and string and all sorts of good stuff. In this one is my large roll of glassine paper, a hairdryer for watercolour. I've got a paper cutter, paper trimmer in there. In here, I've just got some A4 paper pads and a colour wheel. And my top one is just office bits and bobs in there. And just on top of that, which is under my drawing desk, I've got my very, very large pads. So let me see if I can come back far enough. These are all huge, huge pads, but that's a perfect place to keep them all out of the way. I've got my laptop set up there for when I'm filming and doing YouTube downloads and uploads and things. Next to that, I've got my little pad, which I use when I'm drawing. This is the sunflower that we recently did. This is an oil painting of a mystical lady. My first time using oil paints, and I was really pleased with how her skin. That's the underpainting, apart from her face. Her face is, the skin is finished on her face. But yeah, really pleased with that. So those are sort of current projects. I've got my other little floral pastels there, duckies there, and of course, Mr. Cheeky Deer lives up there. So coming round to this side, I've got this little unit. It used to be a bathroom unit, actually. We just fished it out of storage because I thought we could use it in the ideal size. Nice and small. Just down the side here, I've got some larger canvases and some round canvases. Some more prints. Some just boxes and bits. I've got pastels. That's all my pastels in there, apart from my Rembrandt, which are on the shelf behind me. In here is where my oil paints would live, but they're all indoors, so that's for the oil paints. And these are all acrylic paints. So all the acrylics are in there, safely away. And up here, I've got my other plant baby and my candle, which I still haven't lit. Oh, Sunset Sands, that's lovely, that one. That's just a little label maker that I've got. It prints these labels, actually, which is quite handy, and I just do it straight from my phone. And this little unit used to be my sewing unit, because I am also a sewer. And again, we got that out of storage because I knew I could use it. So in this top one, as you can see, Got gel pencils and Tombow erasers, graphite pencils, pencil extenders for when my pencils get a little bit short to use. I don't like to get all the use out of them that I can. Got a little dish up here that my daughter brought me back from Africa, and it's got some washi tape in, some sticky notes, got my little sanding block and just bits and bobs in there. These are my kneadable erasers, so they're all handy. In here, soft blenders for pastel work. This one has got a few watercolours in, and another little palette there, and this lovely little moleskin watercolour pad. This lovely little pad that I got. I can't remember, did I get that from Amazon? I think I might have got that from Amazon. But yeah, I was doing some swatches and things in there. So that lives in there. With these little metallics, as you can see, I haven't used those. I wasn't too keen on them, but they live in there. And these are watercolour paints that all live in there. And I've got my tripod for filming there. And if I come back over here behind my desk, as you can see, I've got an arm up here. This is where I film my overhead. This is how I film my overhead. So this all can move around. Lower my drawing desk, and that goes right overhead over my drawing desk if I'm doing something flat. But usually I'm up in this position, and up here on this arm is my main camera that I use to record when I'm drawing and painting. My headphones, obviously, is just a handy place to hang them. My softbox light, show you, put that on, just so there's better lighting for filming, which I didn't have when we were indoors, obviously. And that's it really. I've got a ring light there for if I'm sitting talking to camera. But that's my lovely window witchy. It came from Glastonbury, little hare. And I quite often like to work in an evening. Because I'm in the garden, obviously I'm not in the safety of the house, I'm in the garden. Phil put me a bolt on the inside so that I can shut myself in. I feel a bit safer. If I come out at night time, that gives me a bit of peace of mind. And also, we've installed a blind. Now that was a bit of a moment, but we got there in the end. And that is for if I'm filming. Let me show you. If I'm filming at night time, and obviously I've got my big lights on and everything, I don't want people to be able to see in. So we installed this blind so that when I'm in here overnight filming, I just lock the door and pull down the little blind. So yeah, there we go. It goes right the way up there. And let me just turn you. There we go. That's it, guys. That's my little hobbit hole. 7 foot by 8 foot, and perfect for me. Sorry, my neighbour's pulling his washing pole up. And it is perfect for me, and I'm pretty sure I just heard my partner, though he is home, so that was perfect timing. I hope you enjoyed this. It was good fun showing you around and showing you everything. And if you haven't got a lot of room, get a little summer house. I will put the pictures up of start to finish. What was in the garden first was a little, it was like a little metal, like a shed where you'd put lawn mowers and things like that. Only a tiny one, and that's where we've built it. I'll put the pictures up of progress shots. Yeah, and just out there, Careful not to get my neighbour on there. Swish you around again. Just out there in the garden, I've got a lovely swing, so when I need a coffee and a moment, I'll go out and have a little swing on there and relax and look into the garden. It's a lovely day. And we've got a table there where we can have a coffee, and that's it. That is my little hobbit hole. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed my little tour. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.